Hey guys, my name is Kyle Kirkpatrick, and this is my vlog on my new student dialogue. I went to the new student dialogue called Assuming the Unassumable, a dialogue on internationality. And the description for this was, this dialogue will critically analyze the stereotypical barriers that divide international communities from United States citizens on Clemson's campus. Recognizing the value of connecting with and learn from other cultures, participants will be encouraged to surface and analyze their conception of international cultures in an effort to debunk common myths and stereotypes. Now I'm going to start this off just by answering the initial questions that were on the Blackboard website, so I can move on to the actual stuff. So the first question was, do I feel my group achieved true dialogue? I'm going to have to say yes. We all got along very well. It was an awesome group of people, really funny. Uh, when it came to holding back on stereotypes and myths, we had no problem debunking them. It was a lot of fun. Really, there was no tension between us. Like I said, good bunch of people, and the directors were also really nice, funny. Uh, they did a lot of games throughout the new student dialogue. The first one was a game called Where Have You Been? And you would just name off a place, and you would go around in a circle until you could find someone that went to the same country or vacation spot as you, until everybody had said something different and connected in some way, which was the end purpose, to say everybody was connected in a way. Alright, question 2. Were there active voices in the dialogue? Yes and no. There was some people who were very outspoken and talked the entire time. I was not one of them. I'm very laid back, but I did input a lot. There was a good third of the class that was into it, and the rest participated when they were asked or needed. Were there any reserved voices in the dialogue? Initially, there were at the very beginning of the blog. Some people were very held back because they didn't want to get onto the touchy subject of stereotypes, because there were a lot of different cultures and ethnicities that were inside the room. But through the games and getting to know each other, a lot of people opened up, and it became a lot easier to talk. What role did I play in my group? I played the role of the comedian most of the time. I do take things seriously when they need to be taken seriously, but if it's something that there's like a lot of tension, or it calls for a good joke, if I see an opportunity for one, that's going to be my job. The first thing I did when I got into class was crack a joke to one of the instructors. Towards the middle, when it got serious, I was more resistant in telling jokes because it was time to be serious. But when the games came out, it was funny again. Was the new student dialogue a component of... Oh, no, the question is the new student dialogue a useful component of Library 100, and what does it really do? I think the new student dialogue was a good thing to get students integrated and connected. First semester of college, it's probably very useful in the fact that you're getting students to move around campus, probably get to a different part of the campus that they haven't been to before, get them used to talking to complete strangers and talking about touchy subjects, which could go from politics to stereotypes, which we discussed. As far as it being useful, I'd say, yeah, it's useful. Is it necessary? Probably not. Like I said, it was really just good for meeting new people and getting to learn how college life works, new classes and stuff. But to get onto the actual dialogue, we started with talking about debate, discussion, and dialogue, and we got this sheet about those 3 ways to talk to people. Debate was about arguing between 2 people, making sure, or you want to win your side or your argument. basically a verbal battle in order to get your point across. The second one was discussion, which is talking in order to be better understood. Emotion is typically not welcome, very unnecessary in this kind of a debate. And in the sheet that they gave us, it says discussion tends to encourage individual sharing, sometimes at the expense of listening to and inquiring about others' perspectives. I just thought that was kind of funny, that at the expense of listening to others, you just basically telling that I only want to hear myself talk and get my point across. I don't really care about your idea. Um, and then there's dialogue, which is casual talking between two or more people. Emotion is welcome. It's nice to have a personal experience within the conversation. Good story to tell to help your side or get your point across. In dialogue, you're supposed to be open and true without fear of judgment or feeling awkward. And then we got a sheet that looks like this, the wheel. And it's basically to help us as an individual decide what's most important in your life. And it went from ethnicity to gender to race, age, first language that you learned, how happy you are with what your life's like, and it ranged from everybody around the class. Nobody shared just because the teachers didn't want anybody to get into arguments or judge, which I'm sure nobody really would. For me, I said it was a big part of my life to be a Christian, to be 18, that age where you have a bunch of freedom, to be born in a privileged country, to be able-minded and bodied, to get around. Very happy and blessed about that. And that I am just very fortunate in the position I am in my life. Uh, Other than that, we got into discussions about stereotypes and debunking them. Uh, it got really funny. It was never really awkward. The first game that we played to ease the tension was talking to a partner, one individual in the class with me, and the objective of this was to tell them what you initially thought about them just based on physical appearance without actually getting to know them. And the guy I got partnered up with was a typical West Side guy. He had the shark tooth necklace, V-neck, really blonde hair, looked like a surfer. And I'm from California, so that's the stereotype I grew up with, moving out here when I was 12. And I really hoped that this guy wasn't just the living proof of the stereotype that I'm not. And it turns out he was from California, and he did live up to the stereotype, but it was really funny. He was an awesome guy. And then the other games ranged from talking about stereotypes from different parts of the world, different countries, and different cultures. And that's when I started cracking jokes again and got to know a guy named Tim who was born in China and moved out to the United States around age 1, and he grew up with an English family, and he's a really funny guy. And that was about it for the new student dialogue. Lots of fun. Good to meet new people. And that's about it.